I'ma break off from the weak minds, they can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts.
Last but certainly not least, the Las Vegas Raiders, baby. That's right. All right. I almost put Davante Adams just because I wanted to have Davante Adams on the list, but I thought, again, that's unfair. Everyone's going to pretty much draft him. I thought about putting Derek Carr in replacement of him because I know there's still a lot of people who are hating on Derek Carr. I don't believe in him. First of all, you're wrong. But anyway, so here's what I put. Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, or Josh Jacobs. Draft, target, or pass. This is a tough one. Boy, oh boy. I have no idea. First of all, I'm going to pass on Josh Jacobs. I love Josh Jacobs. I think he's a great running back, no question about it. But at the same time, I do feel like Josh Jacobs with the whole, he started the Hall of Fame game. And, Cody did bring up a good point that there was talks that they might trade him. We don't know. I don't think they're going to trade him. I think they want to keep him for the whole year. Unless, this year turns out to be a complete disaster, then I think they will try and trade him. But for all intents and purposes, I think they're going to keep him. And for me, to be perfectly honest, I do feel like Josh Jacobs has had a lot of injuries. He's a guy who just seems to be hurt constantly. He's a guy that, he's got this great talent. He doesn't shy away from contact. But then you kind of look at all the injuries that he starts to kind of accumulate a little bit, and then you're kind of like, maybe avoid those hits. I know you're a big guy, but maybe try to avoid those a little bit more. And with what the talk is about Zamir White in camp right now, Zamir White has been so good that the Raiders were okay with letting go of Kenyon Drake because it looked like it was going to be Jacobs, Drake, and then a little bit of sprinkle of White. Well, now with Drake coming off of the injury and they said, you know what, we're going to let you go, that tells me that White is doing really well. And if I'm Josh Jacobs, that has to put a fire on my butt because I need to get going. I got to play well, and I cannot get hurt. So I think you're going to see a good year from Josh Jacobs, no question about it. But if it's between these three, I think it's going to be a pass on Jacobs just because there is a possibility that Zamir White is going to see a lot more time as well. So they might be splitting 50-50. It might be a 60-40, but that's a lot of – that 40 is a big chunk. And when you're talking about fantasy football. So I'm going to pass on Josh Jacobs. I am going to target, this might surprise a lot of people, I'm going to target Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow is a fantastic receiver. Fantastic receiver. One of the most underrated players in the NFL. He should have been in the top 100 players in the NFL. I know it's a player-based thing. Yada, 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 talk. Even Charger fans, you have to admit, if Derwin James is saying, hey, Hunter Renfrow, that dude is different, then there's something to that. I'm a Raider fan, but I can also sit back and say when someone is a great player, someone's a good player, whatever. Listen, I understand Derwin James is a phenomenal player. He's a phenomenal safety. He's someone that I would love to pick up if he became a free agent. Not going to shy away from that at all. And if he's saying that Hunter Renfrow, that dude is different, then maybe there's some merit to that, okay? I'm so sick of hearing about all these Charger fans, basically dumping on the Raiders. Oh, well, this guy is trash, and, this Raider team is no good, and blah, blah. Listen, you guys lost to us when you had the chance to beat us, and you didn't. Okay, we could talk about should they have called the timeout? Oh, the Raiders were going to win anyway. Let's be honest. Okay, the Raiders won fair and square. So let's stop the little crying about the Chargers are way better this year. Well, we got to see how you play first because you guys thought you guys were going to be way better last year, and you didn't get in the playoffs because the Raiders beat you. Okay, let's let's put that aside, okay? Just needed to get that out. Anyway, so if your own guy is saying that Hunter Renfrow is different, do not come at me, Charger fans, saying that, oh, Hunter Renfrow, he's not that good. He shouldn't be a top 100. Derwin James, your own player, is saying that Hunter Renfrow is that type of dude, okay? Hunter Renfrow is a beast of a receiver. My only concern and why I would put Waller as my draft is Hunter Renfrow is better in the slot, but now guys are starting to kind of notice. But there are also some games where it seems like Renfrow just can't get going. Like he'll have like 3 or 4 catches in a game, but he'll have like maybe 26 yards or something, and it just doesn't. Sometimes the connection isn't always there with Carr. Not saying that it's a Carr thing or a Renfrow thing. It just seems like sometimes defenses do kind of figure out how to cover Renfrow. Now, we don't know what the coverage is going to be like. Excuse me. We don't know what the coverage is going to be like with Davante Adams, and then on Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller as well. But I do feel like Renfrow is a fantastic route runner, but he's not going to get a ton of touchdowns. He may be one of those guys who gets like 6 touchdowns on the year, maybe 7 touchdowns, but for the most part, he's not going to be a high touchdown guy. He's going to be more of a catch, receptions type of a guy. So that's why I'm going to put Darren Waller, because I think Waller is going to be huge in the red zone this year. McDaniels has made a point in training camp that the Raiders are going to be good in the red zone. That is something that Gruden never did. So, where is the first person you would go to besides Davante Adams? I think it's going to be your giant tight end, Darren Waller. Darren Waller is going to be targeted a ton in the red zone. Not only that, I think Darren Waller has something to kind of prove. I think he's been really disrespected in this last year because Travis Kelce, the George Kittles, the Mark Andrews, the Kyle Pitts. I'm saying it now. I think it is crazy to put Kyle Pitts ahead of Darren Waller. We've seen 1 year of Kyle Pitts. Now, if you're predicting that you think Kyle Pitts, fantasy-wise, will score more than Darren Waller, I have no problem with that. But if we're talking about pure talent, Darren Waller is better than Kyle Pitts right now. Kyle Pitts has had 1 year. I think he's phenomenal. I am trying to get him in almost all my drafts. But at the same time, I would much rather have a Darren Waller just because I've seen it multiple years now with the same team. So I go with the for sure guy. I like Darren Waller. I think he's the one that you draft. And for the Las Vegas Raiders, I am going to draft Darren Waller, target Hunter Renfrow, and I'm going to pass on Josh Jacobs.